Lucie McGuire, her company is Get Real Social, and I have watched this woman just explode over the last, I don't know, 5 years. Probably she just went boom, 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 boom. So you definitely want to hear some of the things that this incredible woman has to say. I'm sure she's going to condense it for us in this presentation, but you are just spectacular, and I'm so grateful to have you here with us. So without further ado, I'm going to get out your way and let you do your thing.
Oh, thank you so much, Veronica. It is an honor to be here and right back at you with just an incredible woman. So thank you for putting together this resource for everyone. So
Thank you.
I do have a lot to, yes, of course. I
Mhm.
do have a lot to go over. So hopefully it won't be too fast for everybody, but I will go ahead and share my screen for you all.
Lucy, take a couple extra minutes. If Nicholas could add like another 2 minutes on to her timer, that would be super, just because we have
Okay,
a little bit of extra time. So now you have a little bit of extra time.
wonderful. Thank you.
And
Appreciate
yes,
that.
we can see your
All right,
screen. You're good to go.
wonderful. Good. All right. So then yes, how to convert strangers into clients on social media. This is such a great topic that I love speaking on because it is so important as businesses to have a social media presence nowadays. It's like now everybody is getting it now in the 21st century of 2025. But it has been quite a journey of social media and just how much things have gotten and progressed over time. So I'm excited to be here today. Just a little bit about me. Thank you, Veronica, for the sweet introduction. Actually, as of last month, I'm actually an international speaker now. I just spoke over in Belgium and in Czech Republic this past month. But I am a Jensen Beach native, and I've been in the marketing industry for over a decade. I also studied business and sociology. So that actually, it's funny because I didn't plan on anticipate opening a social media agency. But because of doing so, I've really been able to use both sides of my degree with sociology and the study of how people interact. It's very relevant in the social media world. And so I started Get Real Social in 2022, 3.5 years ago. But our team has grown and we handle social media management and coaching. We're really passionate about teaching social media and how to do it without paid ads and how to create a community online that actually wants to hear what you have to say. And so I'll start my presentation off like I do with all of my presentations, which is the one thing in life that is constant is change. And we all know this from being in the marketing world. If you have had any piece of the marketing world that you've been a part of, you know this is true. So I applaud you all for being here today. So let's talk about the social media platforms. These platform rankings, these are measured by the monthly active users on these platforms. So Facebook is still #1 in the world with social media, which does shock a lot of people. So you have Facebook at 3 billion monthly active users, YouTube at second at 2.5 billion, Instagram at 2 billion, TikTok at 1.6, and LinkedIn at 1.1. And so when people tell me that their audience isn't on social media, I'm like, you obviously just aren't talking to them properly. But these numbers are really important to know just in the aspect of how powerful these platforms are and how many people are actually using these on a daily and monthly basis. And so I want to go over each of these platforms just very briefly, and then I'm going to get into the main crest of what I want to talk about with conversion. But with Facebook, I want to keep in mind and tell you guys that with these platforms, all age ranges are on these platforms to some degree. But there, of course, are different platforms. Everybody has their favorite platform that they like using. So it's good to be mindful of the platforms that people tend to lean towards, right? And so for Facebook, you have boomers and Gen X and millennials who are using this. And don't think that just because those are the main people using it, that Gen Z isn't on there because they are, they're just not using it as much. But this is the local community driven and more decision makers that tend to be on Facebook. You have the pros of the groups that are on Facebook and the local visibility and community that you can build on Facebook that is different from all the other platforms. But there is a limited organic growth that you can do on some of the business pages because they have more a focus on ads. You know, Facebook's the oldest social media platform that still exists today, and they have a big pull in that direction. So with Instagram, which is also owned by Meta owns a lot of different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, WhatsApp, all owned by Meta. But Instagram is a little bit different, right? So it has millennials and Gen Z, and it is visual first and trendy, trend savvy. But you have storytelling that happens on Instagram in a different way. You have the reels and the carousels, which also are on Facebook, but in a different capacity, and how people interact. A lot of people are just going through their feed on Facebook as it's a little bit different how they interact with the platform of Instagram. But they have a lot of built-in features with where you can actually drive conversion and conversation, which we'll be talking about, that is really important on Instagram. And then you have the feed. There's a little bit of less flexibility with the links that you have on Instagram, but there's still a lot of ways that you can engage with your audience. Then you have YouTube, which has a broad range of people. You have the DIYers to professionals. You have people doing these different videos and educational pieces, but it is long form content at its heart. But then it also has a short form content that you're seeing as all these platforms are integrated because of TikTok, honestly. But what's amazing about YouTube is that it lasts forever, right? So that content, you could have videos popping up from 8 years that are still relevant that will pop up on YouTube because it's owned by Google and it's really based in search. So that is a great aspect of YouTube, but there's higher production expectations and it can be slower to build a community on there. It really is the long game that you have to play on YouTube. Then you have TikTok, which is Gen Z and millennials and trend focused and really, really rooted in authenticity and building a community around being truly yourself, because it's a lot less of the flashy type of content where they want people who are being real, and it's a lot more raw content. So there is huge organic opportunity to get in front of people, and it's a lot more fast paced than every other platform, but it can require a high volume of getting content out there to get in front of people. And there tends to be a lower conversion rate on TikTok versus some of the other platforms if you're utilizing it as a business. So it's something to be mindful of. It's really great to get more eyes on you, but maybe not necessarily in converting them to sales. And then you have LinkedIn, which I think we all know about LinkedIn to some degree, but this is the business to business for decision makers. And this won't work in every single way for every business. Depending if you're a B2C, it's going to be less likely you're going to be utilizing LinkedIn. So B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer, in case you didn't know that. But this is a high trust environment. It's great for networking. It's great for getting in touch with people, staying connected with people in the professional world. But the cons are that it has a spammy inbox, it's slower to generate leads, and it's not ideal for every industry. So you might not want to put all your eggs in this basket if that's not, if you're not in a B2B business. So let's talk about the goal of all these social media platforms, because this is really important. The goal of these platforms is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So you have to think about this when you're posting on social media. I see all the time people are saying the algorithm's against me. It's not showing my content in front of anybody. But the thing is that they're constantly testing your content to see if people are actually interested in it. And if they're not, then they're not going to reward you for content that doesn't interest and keep people on their platform. So it's a very important mind shift for you to understand as a business owner when you are entering and creating content on these platforms. So I need you guys to remember that this is not about you, it's about them. And I know that that's something that we know in deep in our hearts that that's what it is. It's always about our customer, but it's something we really have to be mindful of and not posting the content we want to put out there because we want to get something out there. It really needs to be focused in what is going to be most beneficial for our client and what they need to hear. How are we teaching? How are we educating them to get them to be more aware of the problem that they're having that we're solving? So the 80-20 rule is really great in this aspect so that you guys can understand that it doesn't need to be all salesy content. If you're just posting like 20% off or, you know, hey, I'm a realtor, hey, I'm this, you should use us because of this, and like it's all salesy, you're not connecting with anyone. And these social platforms are social media platforms. It's literally the point is to be social. So if you take anything from this presentation, it needs to be that social media is for cultivating conversations. It is for creating conversations. It is top of funnel, and it is leading them into all of those things that Nick was saying with the CRMs and the workflows, right? You have to bring the conversation to a point where people trust you. And so I'm going to break it down in a way that everyone on this call should know. And that is that social media is like networking on a large scale. You have to remember that networking takes time to build. it doesn't happen overnight. And so here's an example everyone should be able to identify with that networking. We go to a networking meeting and we meet someone for the first time. We I don't say, "Hi, my name is Lucy. I do social media marketing, and would you like to buy my product?" Right? Like that would be a little cringe. We wouldn't want to have a conversation with that person. No, we meet someone, we get to know them, we have conversation with them. And then when they're interested in us enough and they're asking about what we do and what it is, then that's when it leads to you setting up a coffee meeting. You get to learn more, and then they get to know and refer you, because when they get to know you, you're building that trust because you've taken the time to get to know them and build that relationship. Then they might get to the point where they want to refer you. And that is a golden place to be, where they may not even use your service, but they're referring you. And then when they need your service, they will call, right? Sometimes it goes from the first conversation to them meeting you right in that moment, but not all the time. And we have to remember this. This is network etiquette, right? But this is something important with relationship building. So you have to remember that people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. And social media can be overwhelming, but I want you to take it bit by bit with this analogy. So we're gonna go ahead and give you our 4 steps to gain clients on social media and convert strangers to sold. So the first step is brand awareness, right? People can't do business with you if they don't know who you are. When that first interaction you have with them, it should not be a salesy post saying like, "Hey, buy this from us," right? It's the same interaction as when you meet someone for the first time at a networking event. So you have to create value around what you're doing that actually teaches people about how you can help them. You all help someone in your business. So create content that actually brings awareness to people and makes them understand the value you're bringing to people when they work with you. Then once they get interest in what you are doing, that's when they go to your profile and they check out the other content that you have and they decide if they want to follow you or not. Because then they're like, "Oh, I really like this person's content. They taught me something. I want to hear more from them." You're creating a trust and an interest in what you have to say versus just telling them to buy from you because you said so. And then once that trust is gained, that is the magic sauce. People can refer you without even utilizing your service. This happens the same way on social media. And then you get to sold. And then when they need your service, they will call you and or they will refer you to people that know what you do and how you do it. We've all seen this on social media. So it's really important to not forget that you're not taking it from step 1 to step 4, that you have to build the pieces in between in order to create a community. That's Lucinda, my little AI doppelganger right there. But in order for business to thrive, you have to build a community. You have to enter a community and give value and not just try and sell people all the time. You wonder why people don't want to connect with you online, and it's because people don't go on social media to purchase something. They're not waking up and thinking, "Well, what am I going to buy today?" No, they're going on these social media platforms to connect with people and to see what's going on in the world and to maybe be entertained and to maybe have a break from their day. And you have to enter that with that mentality of how can you stay top of mind to these people, give value, and also maybe even entertain to a degree if that's something that your business model can allow, because you have to think about your business and how your business actually, what personality does your business have? We've all seen Wendy's and how they're a little sassy, right? And then you have like the more corporate sides, but I want to encourage you guys to be a little bit more edgy in your content. Don't just do what every single person is doing because that's what everybody is going to expect. You have to break the mold and you have to be different and you have to talk about what that is for you and your business. That's what's really important. And so if you guys really want to make a difference, you have to get out there and be creative and also just break that mold a little bit more. And so I want you guys to think about like, you guys are probably posting on social media to some degree, probably not consistently, which is really important. But you can do it one day or you can make today day 1. And you can actually take action towards creating a strategy around what you're doing and not just posting to post and throwing pasta to a wall, hoping that it's going to stick, hoping that someone's going to purchase. There's an entire strategy around it. And it's really, truly understanding your clients, who they are, how you can connect with them, how you can teach them, how can you can show them that you actually can solve a problem for them and make their life easy. Because at the end of the day, every single one of your businesses solves a problem. And that is what you have to educate and to connect with them with. And if you teach someone something, they'll always remember that. And so at the end of the day, you can decide if you want it to be one day or day one. But I just want you guys to remember that you can do everything. I do anything. I know social media is overwhelming and I know that it can feel like a lot. And I know it can feel the pressure of having to post on all these platforms, but you don't have to post on every single platform. Get to know one or two, get to know Facebook and Instagram, post twice a week, get consistent posting twice a week. You don't have to post every single day to be successful. I promise you that. I'm giving you permission to stop posting every single day just to post. All right. And that's me. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm honored. And thank you, Veronica, for the opportunity. And I hope you guys took a little something from that. I know my contact information is below.
I absolutely love your slide deck. And I did take notes, of course. Everybody has been amazing so far. So thank you so much, Lucie.